Hi, boys and girls. This is Miss Christie. Tonight we are doing Homelink 5-6, Fraction Error Finder. Consider this problem. A king owns land outside of his castle. He has partitioned the land to give as gifts to his 5 sons. So this is like the problem that we did today with Queen Arlene. I can't remember her name. And her 3 daughters. Okay. What fraction of the land did the king give to each of his sons? So here is Zeke's solution. So Zeke says Andy got half. Bill got 1/5. Carl got 1/5. Dirk got 1/8. And Evan got 1/8. Identify Zeke's 2 errors, correct them, and explain why your answer is correct. Okay. So let's see. Well, let's look at the first thing. Andy got half. So here's our land. Just cut it in half. And Andy's gotten half. So what do you think? Does that look correct? I think it's correct. That part is right. Okay. Bill and Carl. He's saying Bill and Carl got 1/5. Excuse me, but Dirk and Evan got 1/8. Well, I'd really like you to think about this on your own and see if you can figure out what the problem is with Zeke's thinking regarding Bill and Carl and Dirk and Evan. Notice how this is half. So if this is half, then this whole thing must be half, right? And this line right here cuts this half in half. So half of a half. Half of a half is what? Well, we talked about of means times, is means equals. 1/2 of 1/2 is 1/2 times 1/2. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. So half of a half is 1/4, which means, excuse me, Dirk and Evan's area equals 1/4. But then we cut the 4th in half, didn't we? We cut the 4th in half. So half of a 4th is half of a 4th. Of means times. So half times 1/4 is means equals. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 4 is 8. So that means Dirk has 1/8 and Evan has 1/8. So that's correct and that's correct. Alrighty, so now we've got Bill and Carl here. So what do you notice about Bill and Carl? Well, if this area here that Dirk and Evan have, if that's 1/4, this must be 1/4 too, right? And there's a lot of different ways to cut things in half, isn't there? So this piece is cut in half that way, making 2 squares. But couldn't this also cut in half this rectangle making two triangles? And if this is cutting the fourth in half, then wouldn't this also each be an eighth? What do you think? So, identify Zeke's two errors, correct them, and explain why your answer is correct. So we're going to say Bill got not 1/5, but 1/8, and Carl also got 1/8. And now, what words are we going to use to explain why our answer is correct? Well, you don't have to write my exact words. You can write your own words. But if you are stuck and you don't know what words to write, I will give you an example of something that you could write that would be correct. So, if I'm going to explain why Bill and Carl each got 1/8 instead of 1/5, then I'm going to write Andy got half, period. Bill, Carl, Dirk, and Evan all shared the other half equally. Therefore, they each got 1/8. Because half of half equals 1/4, and half of 1/4 equals 1/8, period. So that is a correct answer. That if this was the MEA, that would get you a 3. But if you wrote different words that say the same thing, that's okay too. Number 2, write a fraction addition equation to represent the correct answers and show the sum of the pieces of land. Okay. So 1/2. So we need like denominators, right? So 1/2. How many eighths would 1/2 be? 1/2 equals how many eighths? Well, 2 times 4 is 8. So 1 times 4 is 4. So 1/2 equals 4/8. So the fraction addition equation, put this up a little bit. Actually, I'm going to put it up like this because then we can work on our other problems as well after, and I don't have to keep moving it and then keep adjusting the focus. There we go. Okay, so our fraction addition equation is going to be 4/8 plus 1/8, that's Bill, plus 1/8, that's Carl, plus 1/8, that's Dirk, plus 1/8, that's Evan, equals 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8/8, which equals 1 whole. All right, so now the practice. And you guys know how to do this, so you probably don't even need me to do this. You can do this all on your own, but I'm going to do it anyway, just in case. Or you can just use what I'm doing to check your answers. You can pause the video and do it on your own, and then check the answers after. So the first thing I'm going to do as I'm doing these problems is I'm going to rewrite them down here vertically, because horizontally it's really difficult to do. So I'm going to rewrite this 8,936 plus 6,796. Now I'm going to start with my ones, because that's how we do the U.S. traditional addition. We start with our ones. Oh, I do have to focus it again. Okay, so 6 plus 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. Put down the 2. Carry the 1. 9 plus 1 is 10. Plus 3 is 13. Down the 3. Carry the 1. 9 plus 1 is 10. Plus 7 is 17. 8 plus 1 is 9. Plus 6 is 15. So the answer is 15,732. All right, the next one. 6,386 plus 4,205. Oh, I hear Layla coming up the stairs. Bruno's just laying here with me. He's so cute. I'll show you Bruno after. 6 plus 5 is 11. 8 plus 1 is 9. 3 plus 2 is 5. Here's Layla. Hi, Layla. Say hi to the boys and girls. Okay. Oh, don't worry, Bruno. I'll show you in a little bit. Okay. Refocusing. There we go. 6 plus 4 is 10. So the answer to this one is 10,591. There. Okay. Okay, now we have these two subtraction problems. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to line them up one on top of the other, because doing them horizontally is even harder than the addition ones. Hang on, Layla. I know. 635 minus 392. Okay. 5 minus 2 is 3. I can't take 9 from 3, so I have to borrow from the 6. Makes that a 5, and that's a 13. 13 minus 9 is 4. 5 minus 3 is 2. That's 243. Okay, and this last one is 900 minus 463. Subtract. So this is subtracting across the 0, so I can't take 3 from 0. Go knock next door, see if I can borrow something from the neighbor. Can't borrow anything from them because they don't have anything. I'm going to go over to the 9. Borrow 1 from the 9. That makes that an 8. And this a 10. Then I can borrow 1 from the 10. Makes that a 9. And this a 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. 9 minus 6 is 3. And 8 minus 4 is 4. So 437. And that's it. All right. So hopefully you are okay with that. Sorry the video's later tonight. I had to go to that workshop tonight, so that made me a little bit late. And I'm going to put the camera on to Bruno so you can see Bruno. He's just laying there, all peaceful. Can you see him? Wait. There he is. There's Bruno. Oh, kind of hard to see him. He's sleeping. There he is. There's the Bruno. Okay. Good night, guys.